Alright, so as I'm sure many of you guys know, two absolutely massive video games released this week, okay? We had Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin. And if you guys pay any attention to the internet, you know that both of these games were not well received by, the gaming community. You have the whole microtransaction situation that happened with Dragon's Dogma 2. They kind of dropped microtransactions on us out of the blue. And Rise of the Ronin is being criticized for being a letdown with graphics, with the combat, with the open world. Basically everything about it, everyone is saying this game is underwhelming. Now, I want to start off by saying that everybody is entitled to their own opinion, bro. Whether they have played the games or not, what they see of it, they can form their own opinion based on whatever they interpret it as, right? Like that's completely fine. But just the sheer amount of misinformation spreading amongst the gaming community about both of these games is just absurd, bro, and I want to talk about it. Let's go ahead and start with Dragon's Dogma 2, okay? First of all, Dragon's Dogma 2 it's flawed, okay? It is very clearly flawed. And touching on the whole thing about microtransactions, look, I understand why people are mad about that, and I'm not excusing it whatsoever. I think it's really, really stupid. However, this is Capcom we're dealing with. They have done this with many of their beloved titles. Look at Devil May Cry 5 and the Resident Evil 4 remake. They all have microtransactions for a single player game. It makes no sense, sure, but that's just what they do. And I think all the microtransactions would be a bigger deal if Dragon's Dogma 2 was a multiplayer online game. However, it is completely single player, and you can literally just completely ignore the microtransactions if you just don't buy them. Like, it's literally your own experience in a single player game. You don't have to pay any attention to it. People are over here blowing it completely out of proportion too, basically painting a picture that Capcom won't let you fast travel in Dragon's Dogma 2 if you don't buy their fast travel microtransactions. But that's just not the case. There's items you can earn in-game by playing that let you fast travel. It's all about like a grind and whatever. I'm not going to get too into it. There's just so much misinformation circulating about the whole microtransaction situation. And I know it's not the best, and it's pretty stupid in my opinion, okay? It's just completely pointless, especially for a single player game. However, some of you guys are just completely spreading misinformation, bro. I really hate that because, yes, Dragon's Dogma 2 is flawed, but you have people just review bombing it for no reason, and nobody's actually forming a genuine opinion, bro. It's all this hive mind thinking. And in case you guys think I'm defending Capcom, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and list some of my main problems with Dragon's Dogma 2. I've played it for 20 hours and I've actually beaten the main story. Let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, this game has no right to be 30 FPS on consoles. Straight up. There is nothing expansive about the open world enough to where this game has to be locked in at 30 FPS, bro. They definitely could have made the FPS situation a lot better, and I think they're planning on it, but performance-wise, this game looks pretty terrible. I still had a fun time, like I said, but there were some really big issues here with the performance, especially on PS5. Another massive issue I have is that there's no save files for you to make new characters. You're locked into one character, and if you want to make another character, you have to delete your character that you've grinded on. I think that is also pretty ridiculous. However, the game is set up in a way where you can kind of change your class and your build at any time. It is just kind of annoying because I know there's people out there who want to have multiple characters. I'm one of those people. So yes, like I said before, it is a flawed game, 100%, but it is a extremely fun video game, okay? I've had a blast on Dragon's Dogma 2. And one of the biggest problems I have with people like review bombing the crap out of this game is they attack people who are enjoying this game and who are actually seeing it and experiencing it for what it is, bro. Everybody who hasn't played this game is seriously just attacking people who are defending Capcom here. I mean, I don't even think it's necessarily defending Capcom. It's more of just like critical feedback, I would say. I posted a genuine review with my experience on the game, and a lot of people were attacking it because I didn't just, go into the review straight up slamming Capcom and saying Dragon's Dogma 2 was completely trash. I mentioned all the good things, and people got mad at me, bro, and that's the problem. People become so enraged at video games nowadays for, the littlest things, man. Like, I'm sorry, but all of these concerns, they're little. Should they have, released Dragon's Dogma 2 with more FPS and, more save files and no microtransactions? Yes, but that doesn't, really justify all this, unnecessary whirlwind of hate for people who enjoy the game and for Capcom. Like, it's too much. Moving on, I think a better example of this crazy hive mind thinking is the feedback Rise of the Ronin is getting. Let's go ahead and get into that, bro, because I have some words. So some of the main concerns people have with Rise of the Ronin are that the open world is lackluster, the graphics are poor, and the game is overall just boring. Like, from the NPC interactions, from the missions you're doing, from the combat, like, people have just, decided that it's boring, I guess. And after playing about 10 to 11 hours of Rise of the Ronin, I have a genuine question for those of you guys out there who believe that. What video game are you playing? Because Rise of the Ronin is not any of that, bro. Straight up. Let's go ahead and start with the open world. A ton of people are comparing this game to Ghost of Tsushima. I kind of get that, but at the same time, you can't compare these games. But since we're comparing them like most of you guys are, if Rise of the Ronin has an open world that's boring, so does Ghost of Tsushima. You want to know why? Because both of these games are historically accurate samurai games. They're not supposed to have a big, crazy open world. Like, that is how these games were advertised. You want to know everything about the world of Ghost of Tsushima and what the open world offers? It's literally just villages and enemy camps. That is straight up it. And guess what? That's not bad. That is not bad by any means. It's a historically accurate samurai game. What else were they supposed to put in the open world, bro? Like giant monsters like Elden Ring? Like, no, dude. It's completely acceptable and it's a great open world. Same with Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin is very, very similar. It's just enemy camps and villages, and that's what it's supposed to be, bro. It's a historically accurate samurai game. So that criticism for Rise of the Ronin is just straight up void, in my opinion. Like, it's just not true, and it's just straight up misinformation. Everybody who's saying that about the game heard it from one person on the internet, and now everybody's just repeating it, bro. It's a terrible game of telephone. That is how most of these, things work with reviewing video games and everything like that, bro. 90% of the time. People are over here complaining about the combat mechanics as well. I don't know what game you guys are playing, dude. The combat mechanics in Rise of the Ronin are completely fire, bro. Like, they're so good. I'm having such a fun time with the combat. The viscerals are satisfying. It's heavy hitting. It's really fun combat. And if you love the Neo games, you would understand that this is really good Team Ninja combat. Like, this is what they do. It's their staple and it's fun. But let's talk about the biggest criticism this game is getting: the graphics, bro. Y'all straight up lied about the graphics, bro. Like, straight up, people are lying about the graphics. I'm telling you right now, do not take anybody's word for it, dude. Because if people are complaining the graphics are bad, I'm just convinced that they don't have the right visual settings on their PS5, dude. The graphics in this game are so good. The visuals and the art style is really, really solid. And this game runs at a really high frame rate. If you set it to the correct setting on your PS5, it runs at a really high frame rate and it looks beautiful. Is it groundbreaking and is it something like Ghost of Tsushima, like hyper realistic? No, it's not by any means, but that's not really what constitutes a game looking good, in my opinion, bro. I really only care about, the visuals, the art style, the frame rate is really important as well, and I think Rise of the Ronin does that really, really well. Is it like something that's, super groundbreaking and hyper realistic? No, but I don't think it's really trying to be either. These are the people who made the Neo games. It's supposed to feel arcadey and over the top, and that's what Rise of the Ronin feels like, and that's what Team Ninja does. That's what they try to create, and they do a good job at it. And I can understand that the visuals and the graphics aren't going to be for everybody, but to say that this game looks like a PS3 game is straight up outrageous, bro. If you guys have actually played the game on your PS5, I'm telling you, it looks a way, way better than what, people are showing you online. Like, people are showing you some just straight up BS gameplay. Like, I'm telling you right now, these have to be people who don't have their settings correct, because like, literally, it is not as bad as what people are saying. Like, that is just the bottom line. Is it, once again, super groundbreaking and hyper realistic? No, but that doesn't mean that the graphics automatically get discounted out. Like, it's completely fine, and it honestly looks pretty solid. Look, wrapping it up, yes, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but that's the problem. People aren't forming their own opinions on these games. Everybody is just regurgitating what one person said online, and it's frustrating, bro. It's really frustrating because there's people out here who enjoy these games, and yes, they are flawed. I don't think either of these games are Game of the Year contenders, okay? But not every single video game has to be a Game of the Year contender to be fun, and that's where I think a lot of people, go wrong nowadays, like, straight up. So yeah, that's going to do it for this little rant today, guys. If you guys liked the video, make sure to drop a like, obviously, and comment down below, and drop a sub for content like this all the time. If you guys disagree with me, drop a comment down below and let's talk about it, bro. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.